I'm Heyzeus, and this video is going to be solving the mystery of one of CSGO's most famous inventories, a vast hidden collection with all kinds of number one items, owned by a shadowy figure of Middle Eastern royalty. If you're a fan of the Misfits podcast, you might remember Anomaly saying this on it.
I did a trade up for an AK-47 StatTrak minimal wear scar pattern, 661 pattern.
Oh, I remember
I sold
this.
that one for bank transfer 32,000.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, there is a skin in Counter-Strike that is a case hardened, and essentially the way the case hardened works.
Saudi prince.
I did actually.
Now, Anomaly Saudi Prince is actually a bit of a legend in the CSGO community because he had this secret hidden inventory full of all kinds of crazy stuff. McSkillet had even teased it back in the day, but the exact account and the skins it contained was all a bit of a mystery because the guy was so private, he'd never interact with anyone, he traded for everything for a middleman, and if he did leak his details, he'd try and sue you. So most people didn't. Now, I eventually found out what this guy's name was and made a video on him about 6 months ago, but a lot of that video was just guesswork because aside from this Wayback Machine archive and some tidbits from McSkillet's video, we didn't really know anything about what was inside that massive inventory of his. But what we did know is that a ton of number one items were missing from databases. Number one blue gems, number one crimson webs, and number one dragon laws. And this account was our number one culprit, but the owner was keeping it private. Rumour was he'd abandoned the game, and it seemed like a trove of legendary items were probably lost forever. But a couple of days ago, that would all change, because for a brief moment, this guy unprivated his inventory, and it was long enough for the float.db database to register every single item on his account. The website's operator, Step, quickly added a search function that allowed you to isolate a single inventory. So, in just a space of a few hours, the secrets of CSGO's most mysterious collection of skins were laid bare for the world to see. Now, as luck would have it, the night this all came out, I was streaming CSGO with two well-known traders. Onapixel, a German collector known for posting pornographic images smuggled out of China, and Zippel, a Danish trader who's literally been interviewed on the Score esports. So I decided to take a break from unboxing blue skins to have a look at just what's in this guy's account, and with Honor and Zippel's help, I also started trying to calculate just how much it's worth. So we started out on the Dragon Laws, all 15 of them, and this included 7 souvenir Dragon Laws and also included the 2 best souvenir Dragon Laws in the world. But the guy who owns these skins, well, he's got this unfortunate habit of kind of destroying his souvenir weapons. Yeah, so best float souvenir Dragon Law in existence, this one,
Yeah, by a wide mile.
yeah.
So painful to see it.
And a big part of the reason it's so painful is that this Dragon Law originally had a fallen signature on it. It was literally signed by one of the game's legendary AWPers. This is what it looked like before he bought it, and this is what it looks like now. For some reason, the Arab Prince decided he didn't want stickers, and he does this to all his souvenirs. No one knows why. But for Honor and Zippel, this created a bit of a headache because they weren't sure how to value his souvenir Dragon Laws, because people don't normally scrape stickers off them. I mean, it's kind of insane to do that. So there's no real way of knowing how much one of these things is worth without stickers. But long story short, the conclusion was that it's still probably worth a hell of a lot. So how much do you reckon scraping the stickers off would have done to the value of that?
I really have a hard time believing. I mean, for sure the Pasha lore would sell for more, but if that one hadn't been scraped, this would be better. What do you think, Pixel? I think that's...
Oh, it's rough. I don't know. I mean, yeah, definitely it lost some value, but how
It's
much?
still the number
I
one,
don't-
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Who
the thing
does
is,
that?
right now, like the lowest price anybody's asking for Souvenir Dragon Lore FN is like $150,000.
So yeah, regardless of the impact of the stickers, factory new souvenir Dragon Laws are so rare and desirable that the cheapest you can get them for at the moment is $150,000. At the end of the day, the Arab Prince has the 2 best conditioned souvenir Dragon Laws in the game, and going off those prices, his 4 factory new souvenir Dragon Laws alone are worth about $600,000. And remember, that's only 4 of his 15 Dragon Laws. The others altogether are probably worth another $150,000. So there's about $750,000 worth of Dragon Laws in this inventory. And just based on that, this is already pretty much CSGO's most expensive inventory. But that's before we count the other 420 items that are in this thing. And speaking of stupidly expensive items, did I mention that this guy has blue gems? Like, tons of them. More than I can show you in this video, and more than we could even look at in that stream. However, we will check out some of the craziest examples. He's got this blue gem Falchion though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, number 1 pattern.
Number 1 pattern, 007 float. That is a very nice skin. So how much do you reckon this thing would go for?
People are asking like stupid prices for these, even in like bad condition.
Price went up really much on those. Like 6k maybe for this
Yeah,
one?
no, because it's also 00 float, right?
Yeah.
And so...
Are you reckoning more than 6k or?
No, it's probably
Field
fair.
tested? Okay,
okay.
It's probably fair.
6K?
There's no need to put it higher. Yeah, put it 6k.
We've got another M9. Oh, okay.
Go on.
How much would this thing be worth then?
That's south of 10k.
South 9k then?
No, south. Like,
So,
is that the core north then?
north of 10k, I think.
Oh, okay, fuck. Sorry.
Okay, 11k in that case.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, here we are. We've got the 387.
50,000.
50,000? Is that a realistic number? 50,000?
45k to 50k.
Yeah.
And once we'd finished adding up the prices of all 20 of this guy's blue gems, almost all of them the best version of that blue gem in the world, including all 4 of his StatTrak AK case hardened scar patterns, we'd added about $400,000 to the total. So that's $1.15 million so far. And again, there's still about 400 skins left at this point, and at this stage, I was actually starting to run out of time on the stream itself. So next up, we had a look at HFB's insane collection of StatTrak factory new Crimson Webs. This guy owns 18 of them, and it includes things like the best condition StatTrak Butterfly Knife Crimson Web in existence.
This one, this would be like a guesstimate would be $15,000.
Plus 15,000.
One sold on buff StatFact new back in April for like 9k used.
Yeah, but this is number 1 with webs, so 15 is safe, I think.
4 StatTrak factory new M9 Crimson Webs, including the best 2 in existence. So he's got the 2 best, I think. 0.06200.
This is insane.
He's got 2 of them.
2
remember?
lowest float ones. Yeah.
Oh, what a ball at. Obviously, you can't really trade them that much anymore because he owns most of them, most of the non-duped ones, but what would you guys suggest that those are worth, the 4 of them?
Okay, I just asked a friend about the Bayos. He says the Bayos are all $30,000 each.
Not to mention, the only StatTrak factory new Bayonet Crimson Web in existence, a skin that's literally impossible to value because there aren't any others around outside of this Arab prince's inventory. But the boy still gave it a go.
This one is 30k, I'm hearing.
30k? Okay. Now, by this point, we'd added another $300,000 onto the total, so we were looking at $1.45 million worth of skins already, but by now we had a serious problem. Basically, there was still 380 items left in this guy's inventory, but the stream was out of time, and also, Crims had just got himself back banned, and me and Honor and Zippel were quite distracted trying to one-up each other on Twitter, so we sort of had to cut and run. We didn't get a chance to properly examine HFB's bonkers glove collection, his other insane souvenirs, his StatTrak factory new Howl, the fact he owns the only 2 StatTrak factory new Karambit Scorchers in the world, and just all sorts of other crazy stuff. Now, we did some more calculations after the stream, and it suggested that there was roughly $2 million of skins here overall, making it easily the most expensive CSGO inventory ever. But as Zippel made clear throughout the stream, this number came with a massive catch. You see, there's only 16 factory new souvenir Dragon Lords in existence. The Arab Prince owns 4 of them. There's only 13 StatTrak scar patterns in the world. The Arab Prince also owns 4 of them, and when you look at his inventory as a whole, he owns about 30% of the rare collectibles in the game. If he ever tried to sell out, he would completely tank prices. Realistically, he could probably only get 1.5 million for them, tops. So maybe it's for the best he doesn't try and sell out. However, this does raise the question, are we going to hear more from this guy? I mean, it seems like he's still active, and there are some skins that he apparently owned which didn't show up on float.db, so it's quite possible he's got another crazy inventory hidden away somewhere that we don't even know about. And is it possible that he might come back and start buying stuff again? I mean, there's no way of knowing if he will, but if he does, that is going to have a massive impact on the market, and there is going to be a ton of money to be made. But the bigger question is, who actually is this guy in the first place? I mean, we know he's from a royal family in one of the Gulf states, but how do we narrow it down? Well, there's actually a big hint in one of the old names of his account. This guy used to call himself Chaels, a reference to Chael Sonnen, a UFC fighter, so I think we can safely conclude that he's a fan. Unfortunately though, the Emiratis love the UFC, which means it isn't that great a hint. However, I'm pretty sure the Arab Prince here is from the UAE, not from Saudi Arabia, and I mean, here's a photo of the UAE Crown Prince with some UFC champion Khabib, something I can't pronounce, so is it possible our man could be in the background somewhere here? I think there's a very good chance, although we may never know for sure. Anyway, before I finish, I want to thank Honor, Zipple, and Step for their help with this video. All their socials are in the description. Also, Zipple is doing weekly 1000 case unboxing streams, and unlike me, Zipple actually manages to unbox knives, so you really should check those streams out. Otherwise though, that's pretty much it for this video. As always, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.